least 40 people have been killed in a suicide bombing at a political meeting in northwest Pakistan. It happened in the Bajur district bordering Afghanistan. More than 200 others have been injured. Well, Zishan Salahuddin's a security analyst and the director of the Center for Regional and Global Connectivity at Tabadlab. He's in Islamabad, joins us live from there. Good to have you with us. So first of all, what do the clues suggest about who might be responsible for this attack?
Well, the clues are fairly obvious. There has been a dramatic, clear and present escalation by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan since the negotiations between the TTP and the government of Pakistan failed in November of last year. They have dramatically escalated their strings of attacks across the country, including some major attacks, one particularly in the city of Karachi, another bombing conducted in January in the city of Peshawar that killed 84 individuals, 81 of which were policemen. So all indications point to the fact that it is this terror group which has coalesced and regained quite a lot of the momentum that it had lost between 2014 and 2018 when Pakistan conducted extensive military operations against this group.
That leads us to my next question, which is going to be, we did see the attacks decrease, didn't we, in previous years? Does this suggest that we can expect more attacks like this and that the Taliban are reorganized, they have revamped their operations?
Yes, absolutely. The question about whether or not they have revamped their operations and whether or not they have more strike capability as well as bigger numbers, there's no question about this. The UN estimates somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000 TTP troops inside of Afghanistan alone, and they are receiving quite a bit of patronage from the powers that be inside of that country. In addition to that, yes, there was quite a bit of decline in terms of terror-based violence across the country when Pakistan really geared up after the horrendous attack on December 16th in 2014 that killed 135 children in Pakistan, after which the military came out and an extensive operation was conducted across the country, particularly in the tribal belt bordering Afghanistan, and the group was very systematically dismantled. But since then, especially since 2020, multiple splinter factions of this group, by some estimates 20, by some estimates all the way up to 31 separate factions, have coalesced to challenge the writ of the government again. I want to also just reiterate that no one has claimed responsibility for it so far, but given the string of attacks, and especially the escalation since November, it's extremely likely that it's the same group. And I would also like to add here that this is not the end of it. With the election season looming towards the beginning of November this year, we can only expect this to get worse.
You're right. We should point out that so far no one's claimed responsibility. How is this going to impact the political scene, particularly the political tensions that have racked Pakistan?
The political tensions that have ranked Pakistan have dominated all conversations, irrespective of whether the crises under discussion are existential in nature or not. In my view, there are two existential crises that face Pakistan, the first one being climate change, and the second one being the rapidly shrinking economy and the question of the current account deficit that Pakistan must solve in order for it to avoid default. Security is a major threat and a major issue, but it is not an existential crisis. Unlike Afghanistan, Pakistan's state is not going to be displaced by the TTP under any circumstances. They will continue to wreak havoc. They will continue to target, especially law enforcement. And with elections coming, it is now very obvious that political parties and their rallies will also be targeted. But they're not an existential threat. As far as the political situation is concerned, of course, as is the case with everything else in Pakistan, point scoring will be made by opposition parties to claim that the security situation under the current regime, which goes out of power on the 8th of August, so just a little over a week now, is very, very bad, and that the situation was a lot better under their tenure, which objectively true, is very, it completely misses the point and also is completely out of context.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much, Zishan Salahuddin.